Hey, I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV-MC. Today I've got my Polaris RZR XP 1000 in the shop, and I'm going to show you how to install the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors on it. Now what's so unique about these zipperless upper doors is they use a magnetic closure system, and that's going to be super strong magnets across the top and the front, and that's going to allow you to fold the door out of the way and set it back into place really easily. Now this also acts as a safety feature, so you never know when you're going to have to get in or out of the cab in a hurry, and this will allow you to do that. And you know, the whole point of this is we've all had to deal with zippers that have dust or dirt in them. They get really sticky, and with this system you don't even have to deal with that. Now one of the other benefits of having a zipperless upper door is these roll out of the way really easily. So maybe it's cool out in the morning and you want these up, but things heat up throughout the day and you want to get some airflow into the cab. You can simply roll these back and tie them to the roll cage. And when they're tied to the roll cage, they're going to be tucked up and out of the way so they don't get damaged. Now last, I want to talk about the material. So this is a super durable material, and this is going to stay looking good for a long time. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get these installed. For parts, we have the Tusk Zipperless Upper Door kits. Now for one side, you're going to have a front and a rear door skin, and you've got 4 different filler panels per side, but the kit comes with enough stuff to get both sides done. Here we have all the necessary hardware to do one side. So you got a couple different options for snaps. You got your magnets, your clamps, and some bulb seal. The tools needed to do this job are going to vary a little bit depending on what style of snap you use. So if you use an adhesive snap, you're going to be using some rubbing alcohol or contact cleaner. If you use a threaded snap, you're going to use an 11/32 inch wrench and a 3/16 inch drill bit. Now the rest of the stuff, we're going to be using some side cutters, 4mm Allen, we've got a 10mm combo wrench, rags, safety glasses, and some grease. Throughout the process, make sure you reference the instructions that came with your kit. To get the zipperless upper doors installed, it's easiest to remove any accessories that are going to get in your way. So for us, we went ahead and removed our roof. After that, we're going to install the front filler panel, the upper filler panel on the driver's side. So we've got 4 spots that are going to take a P-clamp. So I'm going to do the front and the back first. And with these P-clamps, we're just going to have the flat sides facing up. And then we'll install the M6 by 16mm bolts through the top, and then we've got the nylock nuts on the back side. After that, we can install the 2 P-clamps that go in the middle. Once you have all the hardware loosely installed to that upper filler panel, we'll go ahead and make some adjustments for the optimal fitment and tighten the hardware down. For the front filler panels, we need to apply some foam tape to the P-clamps on the inside. So we're going to start on this more rounded end. And we'll do the same thing for the other one. Next, we'll install the front filler panels, and you can tell the left from the right by this little notch at the top. That's going to be facing in. So we'll install both of the P-clamps for that. And all of these filler panels are going to use the same hardware. You've got that M6 by 16 bolt with the nylock nut on the back. Again, we'll adjust this up for optimal fitment and tighten down the hardware. Next, we're going to set the upper filler panel for the rear in place. and then just put a clamp next to each of those slots. And then to install this rear hardware, there's a chance you might have to loosen up the mounting hardware for the rear window to get the clamp in place. Then we'll install the mounting hardware. Adjust for optimal fitment and tighten everything down. Next, we're going to install the bulb seal onto the side filler panel. So we're just going to cut pieces and install them in between the mounting slots all the way down this. So we've got 4 different sections. And just keep in mind that the bulb seal is going to be on the same side as the magnets. Next, we're going to install 3 P-clamps to the roll cage bar right next to the backrest of the front seats. So we're going to have 2 that we're just going to set down low and then 1 up high. Then we'll take the side filler and the M6 by 16 bolts and install the nylock nuts on the back. The next thing we're going to do is install the door skins. So these skins all the way across the top, they have magnets sewn into them. We're going to line these magnets up with the magnets on the filler panels and just let this hang. Now on the back of the door skin, we have all these Velcro loops. So there's 2 larger Velcro loops. We're not going to worry about those for now. All the smaller loops we're going to wrap around this roll cage. That's why we left this back filler panel loose for now. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now keep in mind that lowest Velcro strap, that's not going to go directly around the roll cage. You're going to have to go through the slot in the seat belt mounting bracket. Now that we have the Velcro strips in place, now you want to adjust your filler panels for the best optimal fitment. Ours is looking pretty good, so we're going to move to the next step, and we need to attach these Velcro strips. They have the white backing on them, so I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol, clean the backside of that filler panel, and then remove the backing and stick those in place. Next, we have 2 options. We can start installing the snaps or the magnet in the front. I like to start with the magnet because I feel like you get a better overall fit if you do this first. So again, I'm using rubbing alcohol. I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to wipe the surface where we're going to put this 3M adhesive. So first I'm going to stick the magnet to the door, or the magnet in the door. Then we've got the 3M adhesive. Stick that to the back side of the magnet. I'm going to peel that backing off. And with that backing off, just making sure that we have a nice straight line down here. I'm not pulling too hard. And I'm just going to press that into place. And just make sure when you're doing all that, make sure you're not sticking it to the door. Next, we need to install our snaps. So the kit actually comes with 2 different styles. You've got the adhesive type or the kind that actually bolts on. This is a more permanent solution. But we'll start out by showing the snap style. So we're going to start right in the middle. Snap that on there. And then right about where this is going to go down, we're going to clean that off with some rubbing alcohol. Remove the backing. And before you stick this down, you want to make sure you pull the door tight, but not so tight that it's actually pulling down on the magnets. So just about like that. Stick that into place. Now typically you're either going to use these adhesive snaps all the way across or the bolt-on snaps all the way across. But just to show you guys the differences, we're going to use the adhesive snaps all the way across the front, and then we're going to do the bolt-on snaps all the way across the back. Now, as you do this stuff, just keep in mind, you're going to go one snap at a time. So we're just going to move to this next one, and that way we get the best optimal fitment all the way across. Now installing the rear door skin is going to be a similar process, but we are going to loosen the clamps on our rear window to help get it installed. Next, we're going to set the door skin in place. We'll line up the magnets across the top and the front. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and attach the Velcro straps in the back, and then for that front filler panel, adjust it for the best fitment, tighten those clamps down, and then again, we're going to clean it off on the inside with that rubbing alcohol. Pull the backing off of the Velcro straps and press those into place. Now for the threaded snaps, we're going to start in the middle again, but when we're installing these, the easiest way to mark where they're going is use a little bit of grease. So I'm going to take some grease from my tub. I'm going to apply that to the back of the snap, just a little ring around there. And then I'm not pulling the door down. I'm just pulling it tight. We'll lightly set that against the door, pull up, and it leaves a little grease ring right where we need to drill. So we're going to use a 3/16 inch drill bit to drill the center of that. Then you can press the snap into place. And what we're going to do is install this nut on the back side. So I'm going to open up the door for that. We're just going to use a Phillips screwdriver on the front of that snap, and then an 11/32 inch wrench on the back to tighten the nut down. Now that we have the nut tightened, we're going to press this snap down, and we're going to do the same steps on both sides for the remaining snaps. Now to get the nut on the snap that's furthest back, what you're going to have to do is use the open end side of the wrench. Set your nut in there. We're just going to slide it into place, and then we can screw the snap into it. The next thing we need to do is tighten down the hardware for the rear window, but in that process, we're going to roll up the soft upper door and get this out of the way. So how we're going to do that, number one, we're going to release this bottom Velcro strap. Then we're going to undo the snaps across the bottom and pull down on the magnets and release the Velcro in the front. Now before we roll this up, what we're going to do is we have these two larger Velcro loops. So if you don't have a rear window like us, you're just going to put it around the front side of that roll cage, but we're going between the roll cage and the rear window with the strap. Same thing on top. Then we'll pull the upper door straight and roll it up. And this bottom section is going to fold up into the back of the bed. And we'll use those Velcro straps to hold it out of the way. And then once you have it rolled up, it should look like this. It should be tucked back behind the rear window, or at least on the inside of that roll cage in the back of the bed. From here, we need to tighten up the hardware on our rear window. Once you've done that, you can install the zipperless upper doors on the other side using these same steps, and then we can go ahead and reinstall our roof and any other accessories that were removed. Now that we have our roof installed, there's a couple more things that I want to show you guys. Number one, on the front of these zipperless upper doors, there's some Velcro in between there. Now, when you're putting everything up, you don't need to worry about pressing on that Velcro. The magnets are going to just suck that right into place. But also, rolling up these front doors is going to be different than rolling up the back doors. So how you do that is, number one, we're going to fold this down away from the magnets. Then we'll disconnect the snaps. And we're going to start the roll in the same way. And then once you have that rolled up, these larger loops, we're going to take that strap, we're going to feed it around the back of the roll cage. We're actually going to fold the upper door into the cab right there, and then secure the strap. And then we'll do that same thing on the top. And that's how you install the Tusk Zipperless Upper Doors on your Polaris RZR XP 1000. If you have any questions about the install process, leave those questions down in the comments below. And if you need to pick up one of these kits, you can find them on our website along with just about any accessories for your side-by-side. So check that out. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.